Hello, everybody. Welcome to is it the 14th class? Time is flying. So, especially when you're having fun. And today we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to talk about the body. And we're also going to cover modal verbs, these types of verbs which express our view of something. And they can be tricky. We're going to look at them. And as always, some pronunciation. So I love the topic. The topic, I think, is really interesting. Now, reading and speaking, part number one, is not actually part of the homework, but I want to cover a little bit of it because it talks about profile photos. Now, most of us found each other on Instagram, and some of you have profile photos, some of you don't. Some of you have different types of profile photos. Some of them have it of you. So let's go through. I just think it's quite interesting. And here's what I'd like to ask, and for you all to have a discussion about with your speaking partner or in the speaking club or in the live this week. Do the profile photos tell us something about you? So we have here the portrait. Anytime you take a portrait in English, it's a picture of your face, essentially, a little bit of your upper chest and face. A childhood photo or a picture of your child. We're going to get to family photos in a minute, but a childhood photo tells you something different about yourself. Maybe you're very proud of that moment, or you feel it was your best moment, something. It's interesting. Or a lot of people have animals, they're pets. One of my friends has a parrot, and there's a parrot in her profile photo, and she sleeps with the parrot. So she loves this parrot very much. Many of us have cats or dogs, and they feature prominently in our profile photos. Weddings are another common profile photo. Obviously says that you're very happy, in love, very proud of that moment and to be with that person. Family photos might suggest that you value your family a lot. Now, I'm going through all these, and I want you to ask yourself, is it true? Does my profile photo reflect me, who I am, my thinking? A popular cultural reference, a party photo to show that you're having a great time, or the very mysterious non-photo. What does that tell us? Are you private, reserved? You don't like your photos. You just can't be bothered. What does no photo tell us? So you can read these stereotypes and see if they're true, but only read them once you finish all of the rest of the homework, because that's not part of your homework. The core homework is Unit 2, Modals of Deduction. So you can go through this. You can go through the sort of pre-test here. I can go through it with you, actually. I love your profile photo. How old are you in the photo? I must be, here's the answers on the right here. I must be about 5 or 6. Definitely not more than that. Where are you? Do you know? I can't remember. It might be, or it might have been, that's what I would say, actually. It might be the south of France. It might have been the south of France. My grandmother had a house near Montpellier, so we sometimes spent the summer there. Next, it can't be the south of France. Not in summer. You're wearing boots, so can't suggests it's impossible. Might suggest it's possible. Must suggest that it almost certainly is true. I must be 5 or 6 in that photo. So probably I'm 5 or 6. I don't know exactly which, but I must be one of these ages. And then finally, no, you're right. It could be Scotland. It might be Scotland. Might and could are used interchangeably. All right, let's go to the grammar part here. This is where you're going to have homework. So in the top part, you have your homework. And then in the bottom half, you have the rules are in the top and the homework is in the bottom half. So let's go through these one more time. I'll give you a few examples. We won't do the audio files. I will be your audio file. Might, when you think something might possibly be true, is possibly true. Can't. So might. Tony's phone is switched off. He might be on the plane now or just boarding. Laura might not like that skirt. I might not go out tonight. When you think something is possibly true. Can't, when you're sure something is impossible or not true. Nigel can't earn much money. She can't afford that car. There's just no way. That woman can't be Jack's wife. Jack's wife has dark hair. It can't be her. Must, when you are sure something is true. The neighbors must be out. Your sister must have a lot of money. They must be great parents. All of their kids turned out marvelous, wonderful. So you can make these assessments. Now, here a little bit of detail. I'm not going to go through some of that because you all can read, but you can go through that if you need some help. But go through the modal verbs carefully because we use these degrees of doubt and certainty a lot. Maybe, probably, must, but we're looking at modal verbs now. So must, can't, could, might. These are modals of probability, and they're used a lot because we know life is uncertain, and sometimes we make our best guesses, and that's where modal verbs come to the rescue. They allow us to make these educated guesses. Educated guesses are, you don't know for sure, but you're reasonably sure. You're not 100% sure, but it's likely to be the case. All right. Now you can look at the 4 photos. This is where it gets fun. I would do this with a speaking partner. Look at the 4 photos and make deductions. Make deductions means based on what you see, tell us your thoughts. So for example, number 1, he's a young kid. He's outside. He might be cold. He might be cold. He can't be freezing. He can't be freezing. I'm sure it's impossible because he's not wearing gloves. It might be cold, but he can't be freezing. I can say that for sure. So we can practice using these modal verbs with all of these. And you've got here some different ways to do that. He can't be American. She can't be English, etc. She might be this or that. So you have a lot of opportunities when you use these different ones. So look at a photo, and then you can say, for example, right here, she can't be a criminal. I've never seen a criminal in a, a headpiece with dressed so nicely. She might be a millionaire. She very well could be a model or a politician. I think she's a politician in the US, actually. Possibly a sports person. So we can use these degrees of probability when we don't know, but we're just making guesses, a lot of times based on what we see. All right. Now, the next part is super interesting, and I think you'll like it because it deals with something we all have in common, our bodies. So we have different types of bodies. We look around the room, we see, heavier, taller, thinner, you can see right here. Bald means no hair, slightly overweight, plump, P-L-U-M-P, plump. Dark curly hair, a beard. So lots of people are different shapes and sizes, and you're going to see this very vividly in this very interesting section, parts of the body. Obviously, it's important because we live in our bodies and we have to be able to describe parts of them at certain times. Once you understand what the meaning and how it is to say, then you can start to use it. And what I like about this is all of these parts of the body that are mentioned here are parts that we have to talk about during our lives. They're important parts of our body, so we need to know what they are. By the way, these in English, it's interesting. These are fingers, and at bottom on our feet, they're toes. We have different names for both of these fingers. In many languages, it's the same. Fingers, but in English, fingers and toes. Fingernail, toenail. different, different. Obviously, legs and arms are different. It's like that in many languages, but the toes and fingers are sometimes a defining feature of the English language. Now, as always, you've got the answers below so you can check what you're not doing. A lot of pronunciation with diphthongs. Diphthongs are a combination of two short vowels. You can see here, A-I, E-I. Then we have various forms of EU, AU, and EE, two different forms of E. So you are going to be able, what you have to do is distinguish what categories these go in. Please use the audio files to help you, but try to get the accent right. Now, how can you do that best? Here's what I recommend. Listen, say them, listen to the recording, and then record your own voice. Actually, record it the first time, record your answers, listen to the audio file and compare, or compare with me. I can tell you now some of these, but I don't want you. I want actually you to try it. If you record your voice, you learn very quickly where you need to improve. It's the fastest way to improve your pronunciation because you become your own teacher, because your ear becomes your teacher. You're outside the body, you can assess your voice like you could someone else's. It's a very great way of teaching yourself quickly. All right, you've got a lot to do here. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that you keep this fun. Don't get too worried if you don't get every single piece of homework done. Keep it light. Enjoy learning what you're studying and call it a day. Have a great day. Speak soon.